The purpose of this video is to show you a few different ways that you can find an expert at USC, primarily professors. So the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of walk you through how to find them from the different schools. So if you go to usc.edu and you look at the tab that says academics, you'll see here that there are, that all of the different schools are listed. So I'm going to click on the business school. So let's say I want to go into one of the business areas. So I click on business, and you'll see that the school pops up. And what you'll want to do is click on faculty and research, and then go to faculty directory. Once you're there, you'll be able to see the entire directory. It has everyone's name, their email address, their phone number, their office number, and then the area of their expertise. So let's pretend like I'm looking for marketing. So I see here Lisa Kavanaugh, here's her email address, her office phone number. She's an expert in marketing. What I'm going to do is not just directly send her an email, because I want to make sure that she has the experience and expertise in something that I'm interested in. So I click on her name, and up pops her profile. And you can see here her contact information. You can see an overview of what she specifically looks at with marketing. She's an expert in consumer psychology, and you can see that she looks at specific emotions such as love, hope, pride, curiosity, and she sees how those emotions can predict different behaviors, specifically with consequences on consumers for business and society, such as indulgence, spending, enjoyment, and pro-social consumption behavior. So she sounds interesting to me, so I'm going to click on her CV, which is a fancy word for resume. Resumes are usually a page, maybe 2 pages, but CVs stands for curriculum vitae, and this is something that has all experience, all work history, anything that's been published, any societies that the person is a member of, etc. So these can be anywhere from like 5 or 6 pages up to 50 pages, depending upon how much experience and how many publications the professor has. So you can see here all of her current information, her current employment information, and then all of the publications. And these are going to be very important because it'll tell you what she's an expert in. Okay, so if you found her interesting, then I would go ahead then at that point and send her an email. Okay, but let's say that maybe you didn't find anyone that you were looking for, or there were just too many choices. The next thing that you can do is go to the press room for USC, and it's actually an expert directory. So if you go to pressroom.usc.edu, this is the page that will pop up. Now let's pretend like I'm looking for something like animation. So I would type in animation here, and what will pop up is the choices that I have for animation. And there are a handful of them. But I see here, this one says Animation, Hollywood Animation Industry Cartoons, and you'll see that there's kind of just a jumbled list of their expertise. So I'm going to click on this guy, Tom Cito. And I see his picture. Here's his email address and his office phone number. He's a professor of cinema practice, and he has expertise in animation, the Hollywood animation industry cartoons. And I see some additional information. He's worked for Walt Disney. He was an animator on The Lion King and other very popular Disney animation films. And I see here USC faculty profile. So these are all just ways that you can get more information. I don't see a CV listed here, but there is a lot of information on what Mr. Cito's expertise is. So if you found that he has expertise and experience in something that you're interested in, at this point, I would definitely send him an email. I would refrain from calling and leaving any messages on any type of work phone or even an office phone. A lot of times they're not reliable ways of communicating with professors. Okay. Your next choice is to look at the schedule of classes, which is, has the current semester as well as the previous semesters listed. So I'm just going to click on the spring semester. And let's say that I'm looking for something in psychology. So, oops, I can actually look at the Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences. Go down to the page for psychology. And I'm thinking about going into maybe something that has to do with maybe mental disorders. So I'm going to look at abnormal psychology. And I'm going to look to see who are the professors that teach these courses. So I see Michelle Ramos. So I'm going to go just to my Google tab. Maybe I'll do it on another tab. Oh, there's somebody else too. Okay, and I'm going to Google Michelle Ramos, USC Michelle Ramos. And right on the first one pops up her staff profile. Okay, and I see, oh, she's a research assistant. So maybe this isn't someone that I'm going to be interested in talking to because it seems like she probably doesn't have a lot of experience. So let's try David Schwartz. Faculty profile. Okay. He's an associate professor of psychology and education. He has an office. And then you can see a quick biological sketch. His academic appointments. So he has not only been a research associate back in from 1994 to 1996, but he is a clinical psychologist. He was an assistant professor, then promoted to associate professor, and for the past 10 years has been an associate professor. You can see here that he has publications. He has written chapters in books. He has several journal articles published. And what you would want to do, again, is just kind of look through and see if this if this professor has experience in something that you'd be interested in. And if so, then go ahead and send him an email, similar to the email that you saw in the previous film. Okay? If you have any questions, please contact your TA or your professor.